Okay, so we've already done some videos on this F150 Lightning, a bit mostly around the outside of it and some of those capabilities. We've got a lot more to tell. It's an amazing vehicle with so much content to produce, so lucky from that perspective. Today we're going to be focusing on mainly the interior to give you some insight into what the size of the vehicle is and how it looks, and also the spec level. So let's go take a look. Okay, so first I'm going to look in the front. Now technically this isn't the interior, but I just want to mention it because it's pretty much, I think, the largest, if not very close to the largest front on the market. And the amount of space that's here, it's amazing what a difference that makes on trips of additional gear that you can fit in, that you're not having to, put on your lap or wedge under your feet, beyond obviously the massive tray in the back and other storage available. Just to, it comes with these mats to protect it, which is great. You've got a couple of tie-down hooks, 4 in total, some shopping bag hooks here as well, and under here we've got our EV charger down in there, but you've got some more storage as well. So again, just wanted to flag this because I think we have looked at it in another video, but I think when you're comparing an electric ute or an electric vehicle in general to a combustion engine, this is a huge bonus that many people underestimate. Fair enough, on some electric vehicles it's pretty minor, but on something like this it's actually huge. In fact, even up here it shows 2 golf club bags, so for the golf fans out there, you can happily lock your precious clubs away safely in here and have them out of the weather and away from prying eyes. But enough of this, let's get into the actual interior of the vehicle. Alright, so I'm going to start on the passenger side and then we can work our way around. So again, to reiterate, this is a F150 Lightning that's manufactured in left-hand drive. So when it comes out of the factory, the steering wheel is here. It's imported into Australia by a Brisbane-based company called AusEV, and they do this magnificent job in converting this over from left-hand drive to right-hand drive. I've had quite a few people ask me, are they converting it to electric? And I've been a bit surprised, but that's probably not a huge unexpected question, given not everyone is so obsessed with EVs as me. The F150 Lightning has been around for a number of years now. It comes as a fully electric version of the F150, and it's coming out of the Ford factory being already electric. So the conversion is focused on getting it from left-hand drive to right-hand drive, and of course being able to meet all of the Australian standards and compliance requirements. So because you've moved the steering column, you've obviously then got to move over your storage compartments. It's pretty modest because you do lose a little bit of space in what's required, some of the smart engineering behind to make this as seamless as possible. But the downside is that your glove box compartment here and your second glove box, there's enough to fit a fair bit in there, but it is a little bit more modest because there's some HVAC system that's got to go behind, and a really amazing setup where you effectively have the steering wheel column come down into a 90-degree junction box, come across to another 90-degree junction box, and then into the original factory placement of where that steering column is. And really the only artifact you can see is just that little bit of foam there, which only, if I point it out to people, they notice. And technically this mat is shaped for the driver's side. You can kind of tell because that would normally be where you would rest your foot. So again, only to the keenest of eyes could you notice those very small things, but overall at a high level you can see this is all very high quality, well done, looks as if it came out of the factory this way, and certainly very solid. I've been super impressed with just how good a job they've done done, and a lot of the componentry that's going into this is also being sourced locally in Australia, which I think is really important. Again, I harp on about this, but I think it's because it's critical. We've got to think about how we can take advantage of this transition to EVs, not only to reduce emissions and reduce costs, but to create jobs in Australia. And that's exactly what AusEV are doing with a conversion like this, and hopefully this is just the beginning of eventually having electric vehicles being built from the ground up right here in Australia. Probably, you know, we've already seen that starting to happen in the heavy end with trucks and buses. This is probably a high candidate next, and then moving into the smaller vehicles after that. Now, in terms of the seats, you've got a beautiful, nice little blue lightning bolt for AusEV. They've again also had these seats put in, very comfortable, you know, high quality. This is the higher spec vehicle with the larger battery, but in all the spec vehicles the seats are really good. You know, your usual kind of componentry in terms of electric adjustment. You've got plenty of storage in these massive door pockets, extra storage up here, even storage here, my GoPro in here. We'll have a look in the massive glove box, but as you can see, heaps of space for bottles, cups, and even a bit of storage up here. So this vehicle is not short on storage at all, and again, great for both that kind of work application as well as people that are looking at a retail unit for being able to go camping and boating and all of those things. Let's come around to the back. So for those with a family that might be taking their vehicle regularly with kids, I've got a kid seat in here just to show how that goes. Technically you can fit 3 across. The 2 outer ones use ISOFIX, and the middle one has the seat belt tension. All of them have the top tether, and yeah, very comfortable, heaps of space, so good for getting kids in and out. These seats are by no means forward. They are pretty much for, you know, 6 feet tall or high, you know, taller, and you've still got plenty of space to come in and out. You've got all of this space underneath the seat as well. Technically this can turn into a separate pocket to be able to have heaps of you know, different gadgets, you know, towing equipment, work equipment. You can also flip up your seats, we'll see that on the other side, and store equipment in behind. So amazing, the amount of space here, just so far beyond most vehicles on the market. As you would expect, it's a big vehicle, but again, personally, I underappreciated just how much space you gain, and how that opens up a range of possibilities, particularly when you're thinking about the work application of this vehicle. All right, let's go around to the other side. Okay, so I've got my daughter's shoe here. We'll chuck that in the seat. Just to give you a bit of a better idea, we can pull on this toggle, and as this is a kind of 60-40 split, so those 2 seats come up separately. Obviously, if you've got the car seat on there, you can't do that. So if you've only got one car seat, you're using this with family, you might choose to put them over here, and you've got this extra storage in underneath the seat, in addition to this pocket, which can either go flat, you can take it out, or you can flip it up so that things don't fly forward. And you know, you get a bit of a perspective here. If all of these seats are folded up, you've got this huge amount of space to be able to chuck in extra gear if you don't have rear passengers in for that trip. You've also got, if we pull on this toggle, a bit of storage in behind the seats as well. You've got your jack down here, and some people, you know, choose to do different things like sound systems and whatever else. It's again not a huge amount of space, but an extra bonus space, which is really great to see. Grab handles here, making it easy to get in and out. You've got your side steps, and again, it's like the front, just heaps and heaps of storage here. Additional cup holders on either side of the back, in addition to the cup holders in the middle. You've got some outlets down the bottom, a cigarette lighter outlet here, and air conditioning vents in addition to vents under the seat. So a really comfortable place back here. We've been testing this out on a number of road trips, have had the vehicle full to the brim, and people are still really comfortable back here. Very different to your kind of normal mid-size ute. Yeah, just whilst there are some downsides, I guess, in terms of, you know, this is a big vehicle for, you know, maybe if you're living in the middle of the city, that might present a challenge from time to time, but for many businesses that aren't based in the inner city, or that are regularly travelling out of the city to other sites and are in the regions or going camping or on the mines, that's really not a problem. What you want is a capable vehicle, and that's exactly what you get here with plenty of storage. All right, and to finish us off, we'll go into the driver's side. So you've got your standard switch panel here to control your electric mirrors, door locks, windows. Again, really good pocket storage here, pocket storage on the side. You can see here, this is technically the passenger mat, but you really wouldn't know, again, unless you looked at it closely. And again, really high quality conversion. You just, you know, for most people looking at this, they would assume it came out of the factory. Let's jump in and have a look inside as well. I'll just close this. I don't know if you actually picked this up on the camera, but the soundproofing in here is phenomenal. They've done an incredible job to be able to make it a really comfortable environment. Obviously, with electric vehicles, you don't have the noise of that combustion engine, and so if you're not sensitive thinking about how you soundproof the vehicle, you can start to get noise, particularly on the highway. But this has got to be one of, if not the best soundproof vehicle I've been in, which, yeah, again, I think they've done a really impressive job. What else have we got to look at here? We've got this massive glove box. I've got a bunch of stuff down in there running, you know, the dash cam and a few other setups, but you can fit, you know, we've even got a King's power pack battery down in there. Just so much space. You've got more storage here, some more USB ports, and for when you're working on the go, you've got your traditional, sorry for my, just adjust my camera here. You've got your traditional gear stick lever here for going between park, reverse, neutral and drive, and if we press this button, it folds down flush, and we can then fold this out into a full workspace for your laptop, for your lunch, however else you want to do it. Click this again and she comes back up. Pretty nice setup here in terms of driving, really clear information. I love the fact that Ford have seamlessly integrated Android Auto into the setup, particularly with navigation. One of my bugbears is with so many car makers being dependent on Android Auto, they don't necessarily do the best job of bringing the navigation across to this screen. You can always get it on the middle screen, but not so much on this screen, and Ford have done an amazing job in sucking all of that information so that, yes, you can look at the middle screen, but you get detailed, clear, turn-by-turn information right in front of you when you need it. Really, really great to see. There are things that could be improved for sure. I think, certainly this vehicle does have the capability to self-steer on the highway. Of course, like all vehicles, you still need to remain in control and have your hand on the steering wheel, but it will drive itself. It does a fantastic job of that. Probably one of the downsides is it doesn't give you as much feedback as something like a Tesla would in terms of seeing what the vehicle is seeing, but some people also think that's distracting. So maybe it's a bit subjective. I think increasingly as vehicles become more autonomous, the driver will want to know with certainty that the vehicle is seeing what you as the human is seeing. So I think, maybe because in Australia we don't have what Ford call Blue Cruise. When I was in the US driving this vehicle a few years ago, I didn't get to test out Blue Cruise at that time. Maybe that does show more information. I don't know. I can do a bit more research on that, but that's probably one of the areas to improve on. For the folk that love to have both a mix of physical switches and touchscreen, this covers all bases. So you've got your air conditioning controls down here for both sides, just steering wheel heating, your seat heating, as well as some radio controls, and then you've got this beautiful 12-inch screen to be able to go through all the various settings, and of course bring up your Android Auto with all of your normal integration there as well. So yeah, pretty cool from that perspective. So many settings in here. You could spend literally a couple of hours trying to document it all, but there's good information about how the vehicle's performing on different trips. You've got a lot of the onboard power controls, information in here about how to set the different charging regimes, when you want it to charge, what percentage you want it to charge to. You can specify that to be different at different locations. Whole bunch of different settings in here around obviously what the menus look like, the sound preferences, etc. The list goes on. Probably one of the other ones just quickly to call out would be towing. This vehicle's equipped with the Max Tow package, and you can actually go through and add specific trailers, the specifications of that trailer, and that helps to inform the driving range and improve the accuracy of that estimate over time. In a couple of weeks' time, we'll hopefully be hooking this up to a reasonably big caravan and doing some testing out. I say weeks, but in the next quarter, that's on the to-do list, and we'll have more information to share there. But yeah, otherwise, this is the vehicle. You've just got the one control stick here, which is for your windscreen wipers and your indicators, otherwise you've got this steering wheel with a range of different options, particularly to do with your cruise control, your volume, your phone and playlist, and then these control your menus here, where you can see tire pressure, what seat belts are on, pitch and roll, power distribution, and also if you've got a trailer hooked up, a range of information there. And I should probably also show you've got 360 camera, which is really good, with a bunch of different settings in here. You can see at the back, you can be able to see out the side. This is particularly useful if you're towing a trailer, being able to see that you're centered in the road. You can see over the top of the tow ball. We don't have one on right now, but you would see it right there. You can add auxiliary cameras, particularly if you've got a trailer hooked up. And what else have we got? You've got the trailer there over the bed. And then of course some good vision at the front of the vehicle. So heaps of options. Hopefully that does give you a bit of insight into the interior. Very high spec, a really nice material, good quality, solid build. Obviously there's a mix here that's coming out of the factory versus what AusEV are doing, but really from my perspective, it's seamless to the point where you really wouldn't know sitting in here that it has been converted. It's hats off to the team there. Big reason why we were so confident in in getting this vehicle for Odin because of just being able to see the high quality of the finish that they've done. You know, everything that you could think of is here. And they've managed to, you know, preserve most of the features that are there out of the factory in the left-hand drive vehicle, albeit as I said at the very beginning, the one little compromise is a little bit less storage in those glove box areas. But when you weigh that up against the amount of storage across the rest of this vehicle, it doesn't really have any significant material impact. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that quick overview of the interior of the vehicle. We've got some exciting other videos coming up very, very soon. Apologies for the delay in getting a few of these out. It's a busy time of year, lots and lots of public holidays, especially up here in Queensland, which is both good and bad. But we'll keep them rolling and keep on top of it. And as always, if you have any questions, reach out to us or leave them in the comments. Otherwise, like and subscribe, and look forward to getting some more content out to you shortly. Have a great day.